Half term this week, loads of kids coming in fishing, which is absolutely great to see. At Borden Angling Centre, any kids local to this area that's looking to get into fishing, please come in. If you need any line on your reel, we will not only give you the line free of charge, but we're also going to put it on and spool it up for you. You know, it's great to see you lads fishing, and, you know, long may that continue. But pop into Borden Angling Centre and we're here to help you and guide you with all your tactics for your local venues. But pop in for your free line and all the advice.
Welcome everybody to episode 9 of Tales from the Tackle Shop, and we're blitzing through them. I think we're round 3 of the Winter League.
We are now, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got a couple from the lads as well.
From Wigan.
Oh, we've got a debutant,
Yeah.
Martin Earlham from Wigan, and I think he's upstaged you, mate, already.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Or Chave?
Both. Well, it's not difficult to upstage Chave.
Which achieve.
So yeah, so Martin's got his debut from up north, the Wigan area, and he's done well, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Well, we'll stick that in later. We've got an update from Chave, and we've kind of lost the rest. We don't know where they've gone.
No, I don't know where Ben is, unless he provides something.
Has he stopped fishing now?
No, they was at Hallcroft this week, so I would have thought he might be in the air as we speak, who knows, but...
He might be metal detecting.
No, that's his mate.
I know.
Converted him.
We've got to get him on. That'd be bizarre.
Lodge, yeah.
Down the curry house. I went there. See Mo.
Who?
Down our curry house.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we haven't been for a while.
I ain't been for a long time.
That's because you are Mr. Healthy. And I went for a tie as well, and we haven't been there. No, I lie. I was going to go for a tie, but we haven't been there for ages either.
No. Poor old bit blop in Wilsey probably thinks I've died.
We're recording this on our Tuesday afternoon, then Alex is going to the gym. That's where I should be going, but
yeah.
I'm too old and too tired today, so we're not going to do it. Anyway, let's crack on. What's happening with the local match scene?
It's all full swing now, isn't it? It's all, everything's sort of getting down to business. It's all the individual things have all pretty much finished now, and it's all, everyone's back in their teams and ready for the winter slog really until the end of March.
Well, you actually had a bit of a moan, didn't you, just before I hit the recording button?
Why?
About the spuds.
Oh. Well, yeah, this time of year, as soon as the clocks change, you can't drive anywhere, can you? Because there's tractors everywhere.
You can't drive around March.
You can't drive around March because they've put one set of traffic lights and it's affected everyone for 5 miles each way.
So the tractors have annoyed you?
The mud on the roads annoyed me. Yeah. Safe to say.
His phone's going off again.
Agitated.
Is that your female?
No.
You like your harem?
No, it's like some chat I'm in saying, "Oh, who got chip shopped at the weekend?" Probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of different descriptions of vinegar and chips and fish. And...
Well, I haven't got any malt vinegar, but I've got some white wine vinegar, and that's actually at the big front there. Got a bit of some salt.
Don't know what that could be.
Well, Alex requested it actually. You sort of.
Well, like I say, I give it. I can take it. I'm a big boy.
Well, we're going to get onto that later as well, aren't we?
Oh,
but there's salt and vinegar there as well.
Yeah.
And next to the salt and vinegar is a lovely shiny trophy.
Yeah.
So you had a weekend where you got chip chopped, and I had a weekend where I've acquired more silverware.
Well done you.
Which we'll talk about later as well. Mm-hmm. Right, so before we do that, what's happening locally? What's the news on the local drains? What's going on?
I mean, you sort of covered something. You mentioned something. There's another match down on the bypass. Well, no, there isn't. It's just general pleasure anglers fishing the bypass, and we've got the 4th round practice this Sunday. And
on the bypass?
No, it's not on the bypass. They're resting the bypass, but
poor bloody grass, let alone the fish.
Well, I'm not being funny. Where else can you go? People want to catch fish at the end of the day, and
so what's that? So because I don't know what's going on. So what's happening with all the venues? What's?
Well, they're all shy, to put it politely. Apart from, it's like every fish in the fens is now going to March.
Is it? Because it's in transition at the minute.
No, the fish should be where they are by now. The fish should be, I mean, the Ramsey Narrows used to be full of fish. St Mary's, there's a few fish, but again, there's only like 6 pegs where you catch. Raveley's the same, that's pretty pants. Everywhere is just rubbish. Even Benwick, there's fish at Benwick, but it's so clear and the fish are so scared of predators and cormorants and stuff, they just don't want to feed. We'll come on to that when we do the match results, but pretty much every fish is in March. It's solid again, absolutely rigid with fish.
This is a bit worrying.
It's like, oh yeah, lovely, oh great, yeah, we're going to catch loads of fish. But the long term, it's not good.
No.
Not good at all, is it? It's like, and you say, oh, there's a load of fishermen down there. Yeah, because they want to catch fish and there's nowhere else to go and catch fish. You know, there's access to these other venues that's great. But if there's no fish there, people ain't going to go. Simple as that. And it is worrying, very worrying. What's going to happen in 10 years' time, you know?
So do you think we've lost a lot of fish and therefore this was always good, but it's become very pressured because there's other areas that don't have the fish stocks, or because the fish aren't going to all start migrating to March? That'd be impossible because they are.
No, not all of them. I think Bennett's a prime example of fish being there, but they don't feed for whatever reason because of the conditions. But I think someone put a question on the other week about, I think these fish are generally there. They can't migrate there, and I'm sure they don't. Listen, I'm not sure who commented that question, but I think this just proves it that there is not enough food in that water to sustain the volume of fish that is in March through the winter. There can't be.
No, I reckon a lot of the food is actually what anglers put in. So do you reckon they come in for cover?
100%.
Because, like you said, the food's not there to actually hold that head of fish. But do they feed much? But then again, the fish you catch are ravenous, aren't they?
Yeah, this time of year they are really hungry. The water temperature is still really warm because it's still really warm at night. I know the weather's been not great with with rain and things like that.
On the big waters at the weekend, mate, the surface water temperature is still 12 degrees.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And the fish are sort of quite aggressive on lures.
You know, the clocks have changed. Once them clocks change, it's normally indicative where the fish have done on their like winter, autumn move. And it's just obviously cormorants and everything else. And I think maybe what can we do as fishermen to do it? It's like we all moan about it, but what can we actually do?
It's nature. Can't do anything.
No, we can't.
No.
That's the frustrating thing about it, you know.
So, are there any fish showing on the 20-foot?
Don't think there's anyone really been on there fishing. They had some really good weights again when they're all on the move into the town.
Or down at Creek Fen?
Yeah, well, they just move through, don't they? There's a window of 2-3 weeks possibly where lots of fish are caught, and then it's devoid of fish, just odd resident fish, literally an odd resident fish. You know where all the fish are because all the cormorants are there. It's like a whole. If you went on a river, a river fish stays in areas, and they do. Some fish migrate, but with the drains, it's literally every single fish moves. There's either no fish in front of you, or there's millions of fish in front of you. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Benwick, I think there's a lot of fish all the way through there, but because of the conditions of being gin clear, bright sunshine at the weekend, they just daren't feed. They're just hiding in weed and just any cover, they're just absorbed to it.
See, this is what I wonder, and your particular match scene might be a classic example of this, is that whether you guys fall into the trap of only fishing certain waters, therefore one water might be off, so then the matches get moved to a water that's on, and then it becomes very much like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That because feed's going in, it attracts more fish into that area or holds them, and people get less confident that they won't actually then go and try different areas. So during the week they'll hold little knockups during the week in the same areas. We saw it last year.
Yeah.
And therefore you get this kind of situation whereby
I think it's the way of the world. It's instant success, isn't it?
Yeah, because there must be good fishing elsewhere, but people aren't prepared to go find it.
But where? That's the thing.
Because I can't believe on the 20-foot middle level system that there aren't a big stack of fish moving through still.
Well, you know full well if there's any fish anywhere because there's cormorants about. They show themselves, the fish are topping, You know, it's very rarely do you find just a bit of water where you just drop in and get by a chuck. It's not like that. There's these shoals are food for a lot of other predators and everything else. So yeah, it's
What about the small angling clubs and their waters? Are they struggling? So like Ted, Whole Beach.
yeah. Well, Tid's a prime example. They're not struggling, but they struggle to get people to their matches because there's just no fish through the winter. You know, we spoke about this before, where they start at Main Road through the summer, and gradually as it gets colder, they get further and further down the drain as the fish migrate. But the fish aren't there anymore that used to migrate.
What about Whittlesea?
Whittlesea, again, on a Saturday, they used to be able to go to Cock Bank, Poplar Tree, Whittlesea Dyke, loads of places on the 20-foot, Beggars Bridge. They got tons and tons of water that they used to be able to alternate because there was fish. Glassmore, you think Glassmore, how many miles of river that drain that is there?
Yeah.
All you see is one match a year, and that's the pike champs on it.
But is that because they're not fishing it or because
They're not there, the fish ain't there.
fish aren't there?
No. You know, you see it, it's like the weights. Like, you look at the weights from March Bypass at the weekend. In 2 sections, the lowest weight was like £19. And then the next section, the fish weren't there to start off with. The fish have moved. And like, I think £20 won that section. There was some 14s, 11s and 12s, which just shows how many fish are stacked up in the town. You could go 15 pegs that way and sit there all day and you won't get a bite because all the fish are 15 pegs that way. And that is how the drains are. It's like feast or famine. It is literally like that. Factory Bank. This time of year now is perfect normally for Factory Bank. You'd have 24 pegs along there, maybe 30 at a push, tightened up. And everyone would catch 10 to 12 pound of roach on squats. Okay, the banks are pretty dodgy, but the fishing was really nice. Squat fishing, nice technical fishing. And what, the last 5-6 years? Nothing.
Do you reckon it's cormorants?
100% cormorants. Has to be cormorants. Cormorants are pushing the fish into marinas. They're pushing into places where people are. Anywhere where there's people is full of fish. Like at the bypass, for example, the fish all basically get pushed into the middle where there's loads of people living on boats. And Benwick is a prime example. So there's 2 boats at the back, which is past Little London, sort of in the middle of nowhere. And the fish are all round these boats. It's black with fish round these boats. And reason why is the cormorants push them up, and then old mate gets out in the morning and goes, "Oh, morning," and spooks all the cormorants off. And then you've got like a little block of fish there. Then you've got a little area there at Little London. There's like one boat.
harem again.
Yeah. There's one little boat all on its own. That's got loads of fish under it because it's cover. And then the rest of it, you see a cormorant sat on the wires, so they're pushing the next wave of fish into the town. Ramsey, St Mary's, all the fish are pushed back towards the bridge. So the cormorants come in the mornings, work their way, just pushing all the fish back up to the bridge. And then as the day goes on, the fish filter out. It's same with the 20-foot when that was solid. They all got pushed into between the bridges because of the cover and everything. During the day, the fish work their way up. Come evening time, the cormorants come back in and push them all back in.
So I wonder if like these fish that used to go to the 20-foot, they don't go down there anymore. And I can't think they've learned it's dangerous. I think they've probably most of them been eaten.
Probably, yeah. Probably. It's frightening.
I fish Rutland Water Saturday, Sunday, and in the harbour it's black with fry.
Yeah.
15, 20 cormorants are in and around the high boats. They don't care. They're not scared of humans anymore.
No. Pete Wills, who works in the shop, he said to me, years ago, a cormorant would be scared shitless of a person. Now they just look at you like...
Yeah. I saw one off here last week in the river.
Oh, yeah, there will be, yeah.
Because they're not scared of humans anymore.
No. That'll be the same. It's like the only bit that is a bit dodgy is from the Narras through to like the low numbers, say. It can be brilliant one day, then you go the next day and it's like, devoid of fish, and you think, well, what's this all about? And all it is either an otter's pushed them further into town or cormorant pushes them as well.
Yeah.
And it's like the rest of it, that's the most open bit about the town, isn't it? Everything's got trees around it, and they just don't like to be, they're not sure, they like to be in open areas where they can see what's happening. And it's obvious, it's cormorants, 100% cormorants.
There's only one thing, they need to be shot. That's the only way of controlling this. But it's getting bad, isn't it?
I mean, the only way fishing's going is more commercial fishing because people are about and and active on the fishery. There's lodges around lakes, people moving about that stops predators like that. So I don't know what the answer is. How I know I really don't know. Cormorants are the evil for the small fish that we catch. Maybe for the fishing you do, otters and things like that are more of a.
No, it's all connected.
Yeah.
So cormorant take pike, don't they? Small pike.
Yeah.
Small zander. They demolish perch. It's all the same thing, mate. It's just these cormorants are not. They're an invasive species. They're not part of the ecosystem that they've taken over. They've taken over everywhere. I mean, it's not just here; it's other countries as well.
Yeah.
There must be hundreds of millions of them.
Well, Pete was also saying he called in on his boat at Ferry Meadows. He said there was 100 cormorants on the trees at Ferry Meadows on that island. No wonder every bream's £12 nearly. Not that big, about £5 to £6 because everything under that is just going to be prey, isn't it?
Yeah. Guys, let us know in the comments if you're finding similar situations because this is a bit worrying, really.
It is worrying.
Yeah.
It is very worrying, but.
So, look at the match results then.
Yeah.
Have you got the match results for some of the local clubs?
Yeah. So, Sunday was Factory Bank. Okay, it's normally brilliant this time of year.
So
a bit
Ramsey?
of rain. Yeah, Ramsey, yeah. Peg 1 won it again. Shock. £5.13, which was Stephen Bowd. Peg 2 was second, £1.12.5, which was Colgate Keith. And then Benjamin Button was third with £1.7 from Peg 3.
See, for me, there's no point going to the match.
No, but they've got nowhere else to go.
No.
They've got nowhere else to go. Wednesday, they went to Ramsey St Mary's. Guess what Peg won it? Peg won £12.4 next to the bridge, or nearest the bridge. Guess what Peg was second? Peg 2, £12 dead. And then Ivan did break the mould with 9.15 from about Peg 4 or 5.
But that's because, again, the fish...
Because of cormorants.
Yeah.
It's shit. That's what it is. And it's frustrating because, it's a cracking bit of water with Ramsey St Mary's. You can park behind your peg. It's nice, comfortable bank. It's brilliant. And it's nice fishing as well. And each year it gets slightly worse, Yet you go and sit the pegs to the right of that. There's like 4 pegs at the back of the church. And you catch £20 standing on your head. Pike strikes and the whole river erupts. It's like something from... planet.
That's how the drains used to be. So what all these drains that we talk about, for this time of year, November, December time, January time, that's as a pike angler, I'd go to find the shallow, narrow bits, and you just watch the fry and everything explode.
Yeah.
And there'd be some jacks there, 1 or 2 big fish.
But now everything is together. Everything swims together.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are the bream on these systems?
Well, they just sit in the middle of nowhere. They're not... Predators don't affect them, do they?
No, I suppose not.
Cormorants don't affect them.
No.
But it's tench. There seems to be a massive lack of tench as well.
I think the otters clean the tench out without a shadow of a doubt.
So then we'll go to the Tuesday club. So they had a match on, I think it was Poplar Tree. Jed Humphreys £2.6, Mel Saggers £1.11, Dave Etreed £1.5. I mean, shocking.
Okay, was that peg related?
I'm not sure about that. I don't really know Popular Treat. And then today they've been on the Bower, which this is actually actually a bit of positive. So obviously there's been on the news, well, last year they had a massive fish kill in the Nene, didn't they?
Yeah.
In the backwater when we had the floods.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening about that. That's all gone really quiet. That's a ridiculous amount of roach to be killed. But then this year, literally about, a month ago, 5 weeks ago, the Angling Water pumped sewage into the above the Bower, into the Nene there, and killed tons of fish. Not just fish, birds as well. That's how bad it was. So anyway, the Bower was affected. There's all sorts of stories. You hear it in the tackle shop, this and that, blah, blah, blah. There's no fish. They're all dead, blah, blah, blah. So the Tuesday Club do love fishing the Bower. Obviously, that's Yaxley and Facet water. And they've actually all caught a few fish. So the winner joint first was Tony and Mike Mowen with £8.10. Cheesy Bob Fitztench was second with 7:13, and then Danny, I'm not sure, maybe Danny, I've just gone off their sheet because it's literally just come on my phone as they've just finished. So, yeah, I'm just guessing names here. With 7:11, there was lots of £6, 5, 4s, which that's a fishing match. That's that's
better.
good.
Yeah,
it's nice. That's a fishing match. So that's encouraging news. Holbeach is the same. All the fish are at, I think, Cement Bridge is absolutely black with fish. And then everywhere else, you're really struggling. All the fish just get bunched up. Tid haven't had a club match for quite a while now. 3 weeks probably. Which is such a shame because they'd get 15 to 20 every single week on them. Their Wednesday matches used to be good. And for no lack of organisation or anything like that, because they really do try and get people on the bank, there's just nothing to catch. So this is why, Andy, everyone fishes the same place because they can't catch anything anywhere.
When Alex turned up, I was going, everyone's down the bloody bypass. And I was having a whinge because I had a few problems at the weekend with people just chasing for spots because it seems to be a theme in fishing. But it just appears that you're actually right. It's like, this is why guys are going to the same places or one or two places because they're not catching anywhere else. Yeah,
literally. Which is such a shame, really. It is such a shame.
Mate, it's not looking good for the rest of the winter.
No, not really. I mean, I don't know how the Wissy's fishing. Obviously, that used to be brilliant through through that little on the common there. It used to be fantastic fishing. Then obviously the Lark at Isleham, that's normally pretty good fishing there. Again, near boats and cover. The Wissy, it's in the town. It's anywhere where there's people, and it's pretty obvious that, it's not how clean the water is and stuff like that, because the water's probably never ever been as clean as it is now, and weed, and there's plenty of food for the fish. It's just everything lives together. Yeah. Literally everything.
Yeah. You can't eat if you're dead, so they've got to stay alive.
No. So it's such a shame, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the other local results, and then obviously we had our Winter League with 2 Sundays on Benwick and March Bypass.
To change the theme, should we go into Chave and Martin first?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because change the tone.
They'd be quite happy with them £5 and £1 maybe on Wigan Canal.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go to River Martin first.
Yeah.
His debut.
Yeah.
And then we'll go straight into Chave.
Hi guys, and welcome to my first report on the Wigan Winter League. I'm on about take 56 here of doing this. Now, I've tried to do it regimented, I've stopped doing it, so you're just going to get me as I am. It's as simple as that, I can't do it. Right, so this weekend saw 110 of us sit down on Parbold on the Leeds Liverpool Canal. It's a difficult venue there anyway, but there was 10 teams of 10. And 1 extras team. But this weekend saw Ian Leach from Tricast Rochdale make no mistake from the Rose of Parbold section with a super weight of £12 14 gram. Have you seen me looking that way? That's where the results are. In second place was Dave Trafford fishing for Matrix Lee Tackle and Bait, and he weighed £6 214, which was another great weight. Third, Steve Wilson, Census Northwest, 514. Fourth place, Paul Tabron, Wigan Match Group, 413.7. Fifth place, Gordon Newlebeck for Ingley, 412.7. And in sixth place was Kev Lavelle for Saints with 412 dead. Teams on the day. Let's have a look. So teams on the day, well, I fished for Colmick Northwest, which promptly come last. With a score of 73, probably don't really want to talk about that, so we'll just go straight on. Right, in 10th place was England Match Group with a score of 71. 9th, Wigan Match Group with a score of 69. Liverpool is in 8th with 64. Tricast Rochdale in 7th with 63. The extras team, much to Trevor's delight, who runs the Wigan matches, was with 59 points. Nitro also had 59 points. Census Northwest had 55 points. Matrix Lee Tackle and Bait with 52 points. Saints with 48, and winners on the day, can't take it away from them. Superb set of lads and superb team. Was Drennan Northwest with 46 points. So it was an hard day. It was a really hard day. It was like rocking horses' kneecaps. I've fished it. It's been fished hard, but I don't know whether the national being on there has had an effect on it. I don't know. It seemed devoid of fish, really. So I weighed £1.2 and I beat 6 in my section with that. So it was hard. It fished really hard. But it was weird. On the way down to the canal, I'm going past the graveyard. I see the bloke squatting down at the side of a gravestone. Morning. No, lad, I'm just taking a shit. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm going to give out a couple of special awards. So, my first special award for the Chip Shop Award goes to Paul Hughes. Well, he got battered, didn't he, both sides. So, Paul, you get my Chip Shop Award this week, lad. The other award, maybe this is why it fished bad. Now, if anybody knows this lad, this one made the canal come up 1.5 inches with how much bait he's fed. Alan Crook, he was butching. Canal come up that much. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But on a special note, we had 2 young lads who fished for us, Brandon Sleem and Dylan Walker. They come into our first team squad and they did really well. One's 14, one's 15, and they fished on one of the hardest canals in the country. Did really, really well. What else have I got to say? Oh, so just for clear up the River story, where you was asking last week about why did they call me River? When I first met Motti, I wanted a cool name, so I picked River. Don't know why, just one of them things. This is where I am. So that's what it is. I didn't fall in a river. I didn't do anything stupid. It's just that I wanted a cool name, so I picked River. I couldn't think of anything else. It's just one of them things. Right, so over and out, and I'll see you next week.
Hi there, Richard Chave here, back to report on round 2 of the Upper Thames Winter League. And there's nothing to report on. This week it was meant to be fished on the Upper Bristol Avon, Chippenham and Melksham, and at the weekend the Upper Bristol Avon looked more like the Ganges in full flood. I've been looking at the weather forecast all week. I think it's never going to be on, and come the decision on Friday morning or Saturday. But it was going to be too high, and unfortunately that's what happened. Hang on. Oh, they're really good. Can't leave those alone. Very good. So all I can do is report on the practice match I briefly reported on last week. I've got some pictures now. My good friend Gary Etheridge, he sort of collates the Southwest river fishing sort of results online, and I've stolen some pictures of his in his report. So here we go. Hang on. Lovely, really nice those. So anyway, I did say last week Mick Withy was the winner. Mick was at Scotland Road, which is at Melksham. Mick's had a lovely net of perch on the block end feeder. I'll chuck some pictures at the end. They look really impressive net of fish. £20, 9 ounces Mick had. Second place was Ian Dunlop. Dunners, we call him. He's our team, Garblino Blackmore Vale. Dunners was at the Sea Cadets Hut at Chippenham. Peg 40, if that means anything to you. And he had £19.15 on the Waggler. I just spoke to him in the week, and he had a lovely day's fishing. Third place, if I say Tony Randall, nobody knows who it is. If I say Elvis, everybody knows who Elvis is. He's from Matrix Talisman, Swindon chap, sings in the pubs. Apparently brilliant by all means. So if you ever get a chance to listen to him sing, he had £16.12. He was also at the Sea Cadets Hut, and he's caught on a stick in the Waggler as well. Plenty of chub, you'll see in the pictures. In fourth place, Rob Jones from Wales, but from Thatcher's, Preston Innovation Thatcher's. Rob, he's a previous Division 1 national winner as well, I believe. Rob's had £15.10. He's had a chub and loads of roach on the Bollo. And Mick Gale finished up in 5th place with £15 exactly. He was above Rob somewhere up in the park at Chippenham. So that was round 2, really. So you'll see the pictures. Just to finish off, actually, Andy, I've been eating them. I can't leave these alone. These cherries, you really should have one. They're bloody lovely. Anyway, so yeah, well done the Arsenal this week. Made my week when I wasn't fishing, but up the cherries basically. So see you again next week. Over and out.
Hi all from Borden Angling Centre. Beavis and Butthead or Little and Large have asked me yet again to do the results from this season's Avon Valley. They did ask me a little bit late, so we're quite a way into the series. We've had 3 rounds up to now, so I'm going to give you a quick recap on how it's gone so far. So this year we've got 8 teams competing of 8. The first round was on the Kennet and Avon at Hungerford. So fished overall quite well. Top angler on the day was Charlie Vallander, Dara Dorkin with 27.5, really impressive. Well done, Charlie. He was drawn at first peg at Tavern. He's had a mixed bag of skimmers and bream, plus some decent perch in amongst that. Second was Chris Dorks, Allen's Marines Red, 17.2. He was the first peg below the lock at Marsh. Well done, Chris. Third was Graham Dack, Dara Dorkin, £12. And fourth was Paul Bick, Dara Dorkin, 10.14. Top team on the day was Preston Dalcack. Well done, just edging out Dara Dorkin. So they've had 49 to Dara Dorkin on. Oh, they had 48. So yeah, 1 point, 49 to 48. And third was my side, Drennan Borden, with 45. On to the second round again, straight away. Following week, Kent and Avon again. Same sections, so it was upper and lower Dunmill, right the way through Tavern and Town and Marsh. So top rod on the day, Drennan Borden's Gavin Millis, £14.1. He was to the left of Churt. He's a lovely bag of roach and skimmers for that. Informed Sam Sims was drawn in the Town, £11.9, Preston Dalcack. Alex Clements, £11.5. Well done, Alex. He was drawn to the left of Churt. Fourth, Brett Cooper, Drennan Borden, £10.2. So yeah, that fished quite a bit harder in sections, unfortunately. But overall, it was a good match. Top team on the day was Drennan Borden. Outstanding result, 58 points out of 64. Second was Preston Dalcack with 50 points. And third was Dara Dorkin with 40. So then we had a week's break and then on to a full round at Gold Valley. So top rod on the day, and that was this past Sunday. So top rod on the day was Zach Brown, Dara Dorkin. Well done, Zach. £72 from Main Lake at Gold. Second, Wayne Hughes, Preston Dalcack, 66.13. Again, that was same section. Actually, top 3 come from the same section on the causeway, I think, of Gold. I might be wrong there. Third was Stu Shepherd, Census Tackle Up, with 55.10. Fourth was Paul Gibson, Preston Dalcack, with 52.12. So team-wise on the day, there was a lot of ups and downs, unfortunately, with the venue fishing quite hard in areas, but it was really really good sort of team contest. First on the day was Drennan Borden with 47. Second was Preston Dalcack with 45. Third, Apollo Angling, well done lads, with 43. So at the halfway stage now, you've got a tie for first with Drennan Borden and Preston Dalcack on 5 points. Drennan Borden just edging it on match wins. Third, Dara Dorkin on 10. Apollo Angling on 13. Census Tackle Up on 14. Allen's Marine Blue 17. Borden Angling Centre on 21. And Allen's Marine Red on 23. So yeah, at the halfway stage, things are, shaping up there. Still a long way to go. Next round is a week Sunday on the Way Nav. So I'll keep you updated on that. And yeah, all to play for. Really good competitive league. Just want to say thanks to Ian Snook, who unfortunately is stepping down at the end of this year. He's done an amazing job running the league, and without Ian, it would have crumbled before now. But it's not going anywhere. So any teams next year locally that would like to put a team in, feel free to contact Ian Snook now or Nick Jones, who will be running the league next year. So tight lines from all at Borden Angling Centre, and little and large, let us know a bit sooner. Ta-da!
Hi there, Richard Chave, back again with the cherries, because I think it's a fishing podcast, and we don't want to talk about football this week. It's ridiculous to do that anyway. I'm sat in the conservatory today doing it, so we've got a bit of a glare. I should have put a hat on, so I apologise to you all who like reaching for the sunglasses. So we've had the third round this week of the Upper Thames Winter League. The second round wasn't fished. I reported on the practice match last week. It just pissed out all week, and it just came up, and it was thankfully it was cancelled. I hate fishing flooded rivers. We've been looking at the weather this week. The river's dropped nice enough. It's been a bit quick, but it's been a really good match. This week we fished at Newbridge on the Bristol Avon below Bath. It's quite an iconic stretch of the Bristol Avon. They've had a few semi-finals there in the past, when there used to be regional semi-finals for the Winter League. And the venue I've never actually fished in the winter. I've always fished in the summer, but it's a first for me. But it fished really well. There's a big weight. There was £23 won it, £23.10, and that was Andy Ottaway. Now you'd imagine it'd be sort of bream and things like that in Newbridge, but Andy's fishing for Preston Innovation of Thatcher's old sort of style. He's a youngster, actually younger than me, but Bristol Avon angler, and he chucked out the feeder and bread first of all to see if there's any big fish around, and there was, in the shape of a £7.15 carp, which you don't see him at all on there. So he was a bit surprised when it popped up. No bream for Andy. He's then topped up with the bollo, and he's caught about another £15 of roach and little chublets, fishing emping caster, possibly maggot on the hook, caster on the hook, but he's weighed in £23.10. Second place, another evergreen Bristol Avon angler, Dave Micklewhite, fishing for Dyer Gordon League. Dave's drawn behind the pump house. He's been in my section. He's fished a stick float and a maggot, and he's fished, he's had £22. Let's turn over the thing. I should have read it first of all. I should have weighed him in. I'm going to say £22.06, included a £5.5 bream on the stick float. So well done to you, Dave. In third place, another Gordon League angler, Neil Richards from Swindon. Neil's done what he normally does, fill it for the ground bait and fish the long whip with a big float. She's an 8 metre whip, 6 gram float. He's weighed in £19.14. Neil's been in the trees, if you know the venue at all, so in the hundreds, possibly, down that end. Not far behind Neil on 19.12, only 2 ounces behind, but he had a bit of a bonus as well, as Kev Morris from Census Devices. Kev's had an £8 plus bream in his net on the feeder, so that was a bit of a bonus. That one, a bit of a Brucey bonus for Kev. Martin Barrett, Thatcher's captain at the moment, he's weighed in 17.6. He's fished the topper, so that's a traditional Bristol Avon method. 13 BB topper, he told me. Hemping caster down the middle, weighed in £17.6. And in sixth place, AD McTiffin, Census Devices. AD had 16.8. No idea what AD's caught. I never had a chat to him afterwards, so I apologise for that, AD. On the teams themselves, so Dyer Gordon League following coming last on the first round, reversed it and won this round. Had 32 points out of 40. Then there was a tie. We see it a lot in our league. Census Devices and Preston Innovation Thatchers both had 27 points. Census Devices shaded it on thirds. So they had the same amount of firsts, the same amount of seconds. I think they had 2 thirds to Thatcher's 1 third. We were fourth. Garblino Blackmore Vale were fourth for 24 points. And Matrix Talisman had a mare. 8 people, and they weighed in they had 10 points. So no idea what happened there. There's quite a few of them anglers had £10. I think a lot of the it did fish well, and I think more than half the anglers. There's only 14 in our league now, 5 teams of 8, but 20 plus anglers had £10 plus. So that's a lovely day's fishing, really. So the league, Preston Innovations Thatchers on 4, Census Devices on 4, Darwin League on 6, Garbarino Blackmore Vale on 7, and Matrix Talisman on 9. The next round is on the Kent Haven Cow at Hungerford, which Steve's obviously reported on. There are 2 rounds there, so it'll be flat now. There'll be nothing left in there for us to catch, and I'm sure it'll be okay with a couple of weeks rest. So they're next, and then actually, Steve's on before me. Is a wonderful, gallant sort of gesture to fill up all the local kids' reels for free. And what I'd like to say, Steve, I've got a nice one here, look, nice little new Colmic reel, and I wonder whether I could pop it up to you. You could do it for me. Maybe I could post it. You can post it back for me. It'll be lovely. And it's got 2 spools as well. So yeah, if you do 2 lots, that'll be lovely. Yeah, thanks, mate. Braid if possible, one of them. But yeah, well done. Right, ta-ta for now, and over and out in Botty.
Right, that was brilliant. Thanks, guys, for that. It's like I said, like we said at the beginning, Ben's Taylor's gone missing. MIA. And Steve Barnett.
He's gone missing as well.
Yeah. So we have to get in touch with those 2 and see what's going on. Right, mate. So it was round 3.
It was round 3. So
Do I need to get the little violin out?
no,
Oh, you've got...
no, it'll come to that. Don't worry. I'm surprised no one's messaged you and like said, "Oh, so and so. Did you know, by the way, Alex got a chip shot? Alex got a chip shot."
Well, I'm a bit disappointed that Moley hasn't been in touch.
Well, that's because he done worse than me. He didn't get chip shot, but he done worse than me. So
Did he?
that was the only good thing about Sunday is he got a worse score than me. Otherwise, this Thursday would be absolutely unbearable. Not that it isn't, but
I'll tell you as well, none of the Spuds have been in touch either.
and
Ever this season.
And my dad's on holiday this week, so I have actually got to bear it. So I have to be there on Thursday. It's sod's law, isn't it? So yeah, so we had the practice match. There was 64 pegs at Benwick in the practice match, and they put 20 pegs at March bypass. So the access to March is loads better. The track is loads better. So far, so good. So well done, Riggett and Bob and those that put the effort in for that.
Let's just explain what's happened. So March have taken it on, haven't they? March and District.
Yeah, they've always had the bypass, but there's a proper fisherman's car park. Although it's like 4 mile from the river near the main road, it's still, you can go down, drop your gear off and then take your car back and park it in the car park. Or like most people, just park in the car park and walk with your gear because it's a pretty decent path.
And Gav's done the path, hasn't he? Has he?
Gavin and Bob,
And
mate.
Bob.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheesy does. I mean, let's to be fair with Gav as well. They both do a lot, don't they, for the club? It's
Yeah.
good. It is really good.
Yeah.
And credit where credit's due. So they got that sorted, which is
That's
incredible.
sorted, yeah. And then obviously there's the access in the builder's yard, which is good for the other side of the bridge. It's, you know, they do so much to try and please all the locals because it is a balancing act, and you know, we all want to be on March every single week, even though you say, don't you get bored of that? No, I don't get bored of catching £30 roach every week. It's mega fishing. It's like, it's biblical fishing, really. £30 roach on a natural venues is like, it just don't happen, Andy. It's just...
Yeah, so before
Yeah.
we went on air, I was saying to Alex that it's not so much that the venues, it's the same fishing against the same people. I didn't know if it would get a bit samey.
Yes and no, but the standard in our league is very high. There's no falls whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then after Christmas, and maybe leading up to Christmas, you get all other teams coming down and practicing.
Well, you got the Christmas special open.
Well, yeah, there's some England international fishing at this.
There
week.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't got any rigs.
No.
Got no gear.
Well, you
I'll
don't
be
need
using-
them. Just foul up more, wouldn't you? Anyway, going back to Benwick. So Benwick was fairly clear for the practice match. We had loads of cloud cover. It rained. We had hurricane, whatever, storm, whatever it was called, come. And the fishing was brilliant for probably 5-6 sections. The last 2 were very pants, obviously going towards halfpenny toll. But I think £22 was the best. See, this sums it up. So £22 was the best weight at Benwick, which was Steve Baker. So well done. He had a couple of tench and some perch and bits and bobs from about peg 4 in the town. Then a chap called the Shaker Piddly was runner up on Bennick.
Oh, so you actually
yeah.
you did quite well the week.
I drew a flyer like always. You know, apparently it's a flyer. Yeah.
Oh, Bungole Bates.
Yeah, Bungole Bates.
Draw
Yeah,
bag.
must have been absolutely rigid.
You kept that one quiet.
With £21.6, and then there was another £21 in the town, and it fished really well.
Oh, this is why you're taking the chip shopping quite well, because the week before you actually caught something.
Yeah. And so that was Bennick. So they decided to leave the last section out at Bennick and put another section at March Bypass, which was, good idea. The winner of that practice match was podcast celebrity John 118 Taylor. He had a slow first hour when he had 700 fish, and then he had 1,000 in all the other hours, and weighed £40 something.
£40?
£40 13, yeah.
What, off the bypass?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
This is what I'm saying. There's millions of fish.
Were there any big rod involved there?
No, not them big rudd aren't there. They have been through about a week and a half before they caught them, and they've been through. All that there is billions of rudd this big, billions of roach from that to that.
Oh, John Taylor's in heaven,
Billions of
isn't he?
perch, which you boys all go and fish for.
Oh, they're too small.
Zander, there's a load of zander, there's pike. There's billions of everything there in about 20 pegs. It's solid with fish where the boats are. Basically, as you go further around, you've had to wait for bites. But in the practice match, they didn't go as far around. So, yeah, match winner was John Taylor, 118, 4,551 million fish for £40 13. Runner-up was Colin Oatman, £39 free, which, well done, Colin. Jack, Drawbag, Do Well, Demand, £33 7.
That's a mouthful.
He's been in the framing section every single match, I think, this year. Then it was Gary Miller, £33 6, and then Dave Tebbett, who doesn't normally draw very well. He had another £30 as well. I think it's £33 something. So there was £30 for fun at the bypass.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
I
many
think
fish are
with
there?
my £21 6 that I caught at Bennick, in the middle of nowhere, I'll just get that, in the middle of nowhere, I beat 2 people, and one of them was Gavin Wright, obviously.
Oh, they say they did a continental thing. Where...
No, I didn't know. So all the money come from from the bypass, and everyone else was at Bennick, all 64s were just fishing for section money.
Well, that's a bit... You can't do that.
You can. It's just how it is. I think hopefully this week they might do a continental payout if they're using half on March, half on other
Yeah,
venues.
got to do that.
I think that it'd make sense.
It
but
would, yeah.
the problem was there was only 20 pegs at March and 64, so it's like, how'd you do it? But it is what it is.
It's not bitter.
It could happen though, like it's happened on other venues where you're all on the same venue and all the framers come from one section, so it's no different really.
Yeah.
You just go, So that was a practice match. So everyone was looking forward to round 3 proper. Obviously, everyone needed shitloads of pinkies, ground bait, and everything. Those that were going on bypass. And then for Bennick, it was a case of
Cool. I bet price of pinkies went up like 10p a pint.
yeah, they did. Yeah, 2 right. It's a bit like Little Port, innit? Got to chuck ground bait in at Little Port. Love it. That's £6. There's another £6.
Pay for Ireland next
Literally, when the whistle goes at Little Port, it's like, that's £6, that's £7.50, £8.50, 12 quid, 13 quid, 14 quid. That's all in the first, 2 minutes of the start. Anyway.
Little secrets are coming out now.
And then...
There's ching's going off in your head.
Yeah.
Ching.
No, I'm more thinking is... Throw another one. I'll raise you one. Throw another ball. Like, you're not outbaiting me. Throw another ball. Yeah. Claim them fish. Buy them fish, boys. Yeah. So, individual wise, guess where all the frame come from?
Well, it wouldn't be Bennick, would it?
No, it wouldn't. So match winner was Neil Adcock with £38 13. I think he had about 450 fish for that. So well done, Neil. Great weight. Runner up was Gary Burton, 37 3. So brilliant performance by him. All perch, and I think he had some big skimmers and had a lovely day on worms. Third place was Alistair Ogilvie, Ali Shuffle with £35 9. Then Jack Dewell, Drawbag Demand, again was on bunghole. And he had £31 5. And then last in the frame, which we have to mention this, and I'll send you a picture because we know him as Bumhole Borden. Paul Borden, yeah? Well, his favourite ground bait is actually called Van der Nine Super Crack.
Oh, well, there we go.
So we'll put a picture in here, and
If I get the
quite
picture, 'cause
fitting.
I'm doing the editing after we've done
yeah,
this. So,
quite fitting. I think it's the best bit of photoshopping that the Peterborough boys
oh, have
have
you
done
got
yet.
that? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. So
Okay.
they started for that again as
Yeah,
well.
Super
Awesome.
Crack. Wow, me, Super Crack. So it's not Bumhole Borden, it's Super Crack.
Super crack.
Yeah, Van der Nine Super Crack Roach. He had £30.9. Another one always on the fish, but catches them. So teams on the day. We'll talk about Bennett, shall we? Yeah. So that was most of the match.
I
but,
take it you drew Bennick again.
well, obviously. Do you know what I mean? You think I'd be an expert at Bennett. So I drew a bit nearer the town this time.
Do you need to hold the salt and vinegar?
No, not yet. Not yet. So, obviously, A section was biblical. James Draculic, obviously part of the Tackle and Baits team, he won that section with £28. Lovely days fishing. Runner-up was Jonathan Means, another drawbag merchant. Goes under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Bit of a silent, but yeah, he's always there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Doesn't draw as many MPEGs as his team captain, who is statistically the biggest draw bag of MPEGs in our winter league.
Really?
Yeah, this is how sad it's got now. We've got spreadsheets telling,
Who's done that?
well, I can't mention names
They need to get a life.
or need a job. Right? This is how sad it's got. This is how high-tech our league is. Matt Barker. So if you want to know, boys, how many MPEGs you've had over the last 5 years and who's top of this and who's caught more here, Matt Barker's your man.
No.
Yeah.
Has he really done, he's done that, has he?
Yeah.
Matt, get out the house, mate. Christ's sake.
Yeah. So I think if we did statistically who has had the most chip shop awards, he'd be there. I think he'd be number one. To be fair.
You've had a few.
I've had 2. All right.
Is this what before this week?
Yeah, I've had 2.
You had 2.
Yeah, so 3. I've had 3 chip shoppings in 4 years of doing it, and which I'm not proud of.
Still 3.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Gavin Wright blanked this week. I just put that in. Makes me feel better. Well done, Bet. Yeah, so £28 on the first section, then there's a 22 and a 21, pegs 1, 2 and 3, and then it got gradually worse. Stevie Winters won the next section with £16, nice fishing. Anthony Watling won the next section with...
Hold on a minute, these are all tackle and baits.
Yes,
mate.
they are, yeah. He won the next section with £10.
Did he
some odd.
sniff them out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just hovered over him. Yeah. Bit of shadow close in and caught him short. And then the next section was won by James Collison on the boat with £9 something, which was my section.
Oh, so you let everyone down?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think I got 25% of our team's score on Sunday. As quite a few people have mentioned. So yeah, I'm not going to go into it, what, where, why, and make excuses, but I didn't do very well. And I got beat either side.
Who beat you?
So Steve Spooner, yeah, the blind fitter. I reckon there was a blind between my peg that stopped all the fish from coming. But he did have a boat, so Anyway, fished a good match. Basically, it was.
Did he give you loads?
No.
He's quite polite, isn't he?
Yeah, but I can imagine secretly he's like he
walked
walked into his house like the big show.
I've done him, haven't I?
Yeah.
Gun
Who?
Batesy.
Alex Bates? Never heard of him, mate.
And who was the other side?
Andy Mead.
Do I know him?
Fishes for Image.
he
You probably wouldn't know because he never comes back to the result.
Oh, right. But
He's normally home by we're doing the
did he
result.
give you a load?
No, he didn't.
So who has been giving you a load of crap then?
Everyone else, basically.
Oh, awesome. What a boys.
Everyone else. Even people that don't fish winter league on. What happened to you at the weekend? I'm like, look, mate, even Man City lose occasionally. Do you know
They
what I
haven't
mean?
lost yet, have they?
Well, they did. They did lose. Well, they drew, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Yeah, so I had £2.15.
I thought you weren't going to go into it.
I had £2.15. I had £3.7 one side and £4 the other. So I got beat properly, fair and square. No like tench bigger than yours or anything like that. It was a proper chip shopping. I just didn't catch the last 40 minutes when the fish switched on. I had a little run of fish and literally sat there like there's a brick wall in my peg. They've obviously come through because Steve caught them to my left, but I just couldn't catch. And they go, "No, you're not catching now." I was like, "No, I'm not getting a bite. I can't get a bite." And you know, sometimes you're like, you know what happens on that venue, that the last hour they're going to feed, and you're prepared for it, and you know what's going to happen.
Did you have a hook on?
But no, yes, obviously. I didn't need a hook on because nothing was taking it. But yeah, so well done to those guys. The next section was one with £5 and a couple of £4. And then the next section was one with 10 ounces.
Oh, my Lord.
And then the last section was one with 12.5 ounces. Ray Malley won that with 12.5 ounces. So that was pretty tough. But it was so clear. I've never seen it as clear as that ever. We had not a breath of wind, bright sunshine all day. Them fish are there, they're just not feeding.
No.
They're not feeding.
Can't blame them either.
So teams on the day.
Hold on a minute. If we did, your team must have done well because you mentioned a lot of team members winning sections here.
Yeah, I think we had, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 section wins, 3 section seconds, a 5th and a 6th. I don't know who the 6th was. Don't know him. Never heard of him. But shocking performance. Yeah. So teams on the day: Dara Tackle and Baits 24 points. Runners up on the day was Census Hot Rods 33 points. Then it was really close. So Peterborough, Maver, Bait Tech, Peterborough, I think they're known as now, had 43, and Image had 44. So there's a right little ding dang going on there. Stanjay 49, Tackle and Bait Selects 52, Mark 1 Black 56, Mark 1 White 58. So yeah, bit of a up and down one. And the Mark 1 Black team had a blank, and I don't know who that was. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but just imagine if he'd caught a fish.
Riggett, was that Riggett by chance?
No comment.
Oh,
No comment.
bless him.
So league after 3 rounds. So Mark 1 Black 23, Mark 1 White 21, Tackle and Bait Select 19, 5th Stanjay 15, 4th Image 10, Hot Rods are 3rd with 8 points, runners up are Maver, Bait Tech, Peterborough with 7, and then Tackle and Baits are at the minute currently top with 5 points. So obviously top 3 teams qualified. It's still really, really close.
And how many more rounds to go?
3.
So you're halfway.
Halfway through, yeah. Yeah, halfway
Oh,
through.
that's cool. It's always tight, isn't it?
It is, yeah, always tight. So yeah, we're not sure where it's going to be this week, but I think it'll probably be a mixture of March and Benwick and maybe the Bower. Who knows?
Well, that'd be good to get the Bowery. But like you said, as you said at the beginning, it's a bit alarming that there's a lack of places.
Definitely.
What shall I mention my win quickly?
Well, you might as well.
Yeah, so this is the Lure Angler Society Perch Cup, and this one here, oh, I'm looking at a monkey. This one here is the Predator Cup. So at the weekend we had a comp on Rutland. It was the 4 longest perch, 2 longest pike, 4 longest zander. That was the card. So obviously try and catch these species in as long as fish as possible. So on the Saturday it was the Perch Cup, and obviously me and my boat partner Dan won that. We had 4 perch of 45 centimetres each.
How long?
45 centimetres.
Oh, right, they're big.
Yeah.
Is it 51 centimetres is £5?
No, it depends how fat they are. So these would have been a smidge under £4.
Oh, nice fish.
Yeah, they're conkers. But they're all the same length because they're all the same year class.
Yeah.
So-
There's something said about perch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in year classes.
So we smashed that, which is good. And then we caught the 4 perch. And then we need to get the pike. And I had an absolute unit in the afternoon, which
How big?
£31.12. In a comp, it's like, holy moly. Dan had a 25.12 out as well. So we smashed it. Then we caught one of the zander we needed before the comp finished on the Saturday. So as you can imagine,
Yeah.
we'd absolutely destroyed everybody. And would you believe it, on the Sunday, we could not catch another zander on Rutland. only 3 Xander came out in the whole comp.
1.
3.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because of the bright sunshine?
I have no idea.
Oh, was it Sunday or was it 2 days?
Over 2
Oh,
days.
2 days. Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
Saturday would have been perfect, wouldn't it? Conditions?
Yeah, so a lot of the guys are good Xander anglers. They couldn't catch. Very weird.
Are Xander like perch and have like year cycles where they do really well and then they don't like being caught a lot, Xander, do they? They're not very.
I think the problem is they get caught from too deep water and they die.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest with you,
Yeah.
that's a problem because guys are targeting them in stupid depths, whereas I try and catch them shallow. But yeah, so that's a bit of a weird one. Anyway, what I learned from the Worlds is really good lure anglers would have still caught them. So we're still on the learning curve. This is good. So that was only our first win of the season. We've had a really strange season. We had seconds, thirds, fifths, sixths. It's
Right.
so it was only a little comp as well. It was a really well organised event by the Lure Anglers Society, but it was nice to get a win in what was probably our last event as a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, so it's nice.
Great.
But yeah, so mate, that's what a trophy looks like. So I thought I'd show that to you.
Sorry. Did you say what a trophy?
Okay.
That's what you call a trophy.
Which you left.
Prestige.
Which Alex left in my spare bedroom last week, which needs to go to the tackle shop. Right, so that's where we are with that. So that was good. That leaves us to do one last thing, which you have not done at all this season.
What?
Are you giving out any chip shop awards?
Yeah, me, obviously.
Have we got any T-shirts?
No, it's just you don't need a t-shirt, it's the prestige.
No, have we got any left?
Yeah, I've got some.
So are you going to get your arse in gear and actually give some out next week?
Yeah, well, I haven't done any this year yet, but it's quite fitting that all of a sudden I win it when we need to, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah, so I think this should be like the watershed.
Right,
So
well, next week,
Yeah.
I'm going to be on it like a carb on it.
Well, I think you can get Moley involved in the...
Well, I think,
Sato.
like, from a few weeks ago, Goddard's could have had an award, Gobber could have had a
Yeah,
couple,
but you haven't given them out.
Gav could have had a couple. There's quite a few.
So we need to start next week, mate. You need to lift your game. Bit like fishing a Bennick. You know you're going to draw Bennick on Sunday.
Obviously.
You might as well take your gear down there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get your little parking spot ready. You'll be fine.
Pay the farmer £2. Stand in order.
Right. Is there anything else we need to do?
No, I think that's it. That's it. I'm not here next week. I'm going on the River Wye
Oh, that'd be good.
for an absolute battering by the locals.
Yeah,
My
running,
4x12 pinky rigs ain't going to be no good on there.
bit of running water boy.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a bit stressed at how much gear I've got to prep because, yeah,
Feeder or stick float?
you name it, could be anything. Stick
Waggler?
float, bollo, waggler, whip, flat float for perch, bleak fishing. Yeah,
So is it, what comp is it?
it's the Y 3-day festival.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So I'm going to go up on
Yeah.
Tuesday and look like I know what I'm doing. And then by the end of the 3 days, they'll go, yeah, stick to your drains, mate.
Who's going with you?
Anthony Watling.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be good company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't talk football.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got a strange choice in teams.
So that's what we got.
Cool. Well, we'll hear about that in a couple of weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys, that's it for this instalment.
Yep.
See you all in a couple of weeks, and hopefully we've located Ben Taylor
Yep.
and Steve Borden. Steve Barnett.
Barnett from Borden.
For Barnett from Borden is a tongue twister. Right, we'll catch you all later.
Goodbye.